Hi, fifth graders. Today's topics are going to be adding and subtracting time and elapsing time. So we're going to start off with the basics of adding and subtracting time. It's literally it's the same thing as just adding and subtracting, but in this case, you have to pay attention to the units. So let's start off with the minutes first. So it says 47 minus 41, right? 7 minus 1 is 6, and 4 minus 4 is just 0, right? So we're going to put 6, and then we're going to bring down minutes, right? Since we're dealing with time. And now we're going to move on to the hours. So the hours gives us 19 minus 16, right? And 19 minus 16 is just 3. And then we're going to bring down the hours. So for this one, you need to remember your units, and there are going to be some cases where you get around, like, I'm not sure specifically in this, actually, yes, for like the addition problems, like number 9, you will get over 60 minutes, and if you do, then you have to add that into your hours, because 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So if you get, let's say like 69 minutes, then your 60 minutes will change into 1 hour, right? So you will have 1 hour and 9 minutes. That's how it works. And it goes on in increments of 60. So it goes from like 60, and then you add another 60, 120. It goes on. And you have to keep that into consideration. Now we're going to be once again adding and subtracting time. Number 1 says add 1 hour to each of these times. So letter A says 8 o'clock a.m. And since we're going from early in the morning, our units will stay the same and just be a.m. because it's before 12, right? And then 8 plus 1 is just 9, so it's just going to be 9 o'clock a.m. As for number 2, we're going to be subtracting 1 hour, right? And for C, it's just 10:30 p.m. And so the p.m. will just stay the same. And then 10 minus not, I'm sorry, I just said the answer. 10 minus 1 is just 9, right? And then your minutes will just stay the same, 30. Because in this case, it's actually easy since all of these, the minutes will stay the same. But if the minutes were to be different, then that would be another case. I wasn't gonna go over number 3 since it does one for you, but I'll just explain the one that it did. So it says 5:20 p.m. is blank hours earlier or later than 3:20 p.m. So what you need to know or realize first is that 5 is greater than 3, right? So obviously it will be later than 3:20. So we already got that down. Now we just need to find out how many hours later it is. So once again, the minutes are the same. The minutes are the same, 20, right? So we just focus on the 3 and the 5. Now, 5 minus 3 is just 2. So it's going to be 2 hours later than 3:20. That's why they circled 2 and later. Now we're going to be dealing when the minutes and the hours are different. So let's do the fourth one. It says 3:40 a.m. to 6:10 a.m. Now the units, I guess, is a.m. to a.m. So it won't be more than 12 hours, obviously. So we're going to keep that in mind. And we're just trying to figure out how much time has passed. So let's draw it. Let's draw 3:40. 3:40, right? Now, when we look at this, an hour from 3:40 will be what? 4:40, right? And then an hour from 4:40 will be 5:40. But an hour from 5:40 will be 6:40, and 6:40 is way past 6:10, right? So obviously we're gonna have 2 hours, so the hours elapsed will be 2 hours. Now we need to focus on the minutes. So from 3:40 we have 5:40 to 6:10 is what we're trying to get to, right? 6:10. And then we're gonna start off from where we left off, 5:40. 5:40, there's 20 minutes till 6, right? But we're trying to get to 6:10. That's 10 more minutes. So it's gonna be 30 minutes in total, since we're just gonna add 20 plus 10. You need to realize that these increments, these time increments, go by fives. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's why it's 30 minutes. So once again, we went from 3:40, we added an hour until we got to 5:40, and we couldn't add another hour because 6:40 is greater than 6:10. So we focused on the minutes, and we realized that it's 40, right? So it's 20 minutes till 6, and then we just want to add 10 more minutes, so it will be 20 plus 10, which is 30. So the total amount of hours elapsed, or time elapsed, will be 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's easier for most people to just draw the clock and do what I did for you guys. Now we're gonna move on to it's the same thing, time, but in terms of dates. So we start off in January 11th of 1988, and it says that 6 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days have elapsed. That elapsed means have passed. So since we're starting off in January and we're only going off about like 6 months, it's safe to guess or say that we're going to end up in the same year, 1988. So that's what I'm going to put. But the months and the dates will be different for sure. So let's just find out how many days in total have passed. Or actually, no, we can focus on the months. So it says 6 months have passed. So we're going to go from January 11th. So actually that doesn't work actually. We're just going to find out how many days, because in each month, unfortunately, there is not always 31 days in a month, unfortunately. So actually, can we? Let's try. A month from January 11th will be February 11th, right? A month from February 11th will be March 11th. A month from March 11th will be April 11th. A month from April will be May 11th. And a month from May will be June 11th. Let's see if that's 6 months. So that's 1 month. That's 2 months. That's 3 months. That's 4 months. And that's 5 months. I guess we have to do one more. A month from June 11th will be July 11th. Now we have the month, July. That's going to be our final month. However, we still have 3 weeks and 6 days to figure out, right? So we know that July has 31 days in its month, right? So 3 weeks, there's 7 days in a week. That's 21 days. 21 plus 11 is unfortunately 32. So that means we finished the month of July and we went on to the month of August. So if we were to add the 7 days, it would be August 1st, since there's 31 days in July. And then now it just says 6 days. So let's do it. August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's August 7th. It should be August 7th, 1988. Yes, it is. So when you're doing this specific worksheet, you need to know how many days are in each month, because once again, not every month has 31 days, and you need to keep track of that. But in this case, it's easier for with the months, and the weeks and the days can be a little bit harder. As for the year, pretty much it will be common sense if it's like 12 months, obviously it will be a year later, so you would have to add one more year. But if it's as early as like, oh, it seems like only mine it stayed in the same year, but for the other ones, it looks like you have to change the year as well. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video